Greetings traders, it's 2013, January 2nd. This is Des here at Grok Trade. Check this out, markets up strongly. S&P up 2.5%. Dow up over 308 points, up 2.35%. NASDAQ up 3%. Wow. Russell's up nearly 3%. Banks up more than 3%. VIX off by 18.5%. Fear indicator, check this out, back in the 14s. Gold up 0.7%. Silver up 1.9%. Crude oil up 1.35%. US dollar break even. We are flat. Check this out, the S&P daily. Big symmetrical triangle and a smaller symmetrical triangle right here. We got caught up in these moving averages. We dropped down below, and then we have a little pop here on really light volume today, starting off a business week here. Boom! To the upside. Now here's what's of great interest to me as a technician. Not only do we have a sizable candlestick, this is a huge candlestick for an index. Now again, this is the S&P 500. Big candlestick. Usually you do not see candlesticks this strong. Now the other thing I want to point out here is at the end of the day, let me just show you a 1 minute chart here. Look at the massive buying taking place at the end of the day. Big rally right at the end of the day. Most of today, on today's pop, we had all the bears, all the shorts buying to cover. And then once we started breaking resistance level, such as resistance, coming across resistance, at that point you had the bears buying to cover and also bulls coming in. And then we found resistance right here. This is a huge resistance. Let me pull in a lot of data here. Let me share with you why this is such massive resistance. This goes back here to October 5th, 2007. Okay, 2007. We bring that line across here. Let me blow this back up. I don't want to be too jerky here. And you can blow up the this screen, go full screen, and watch it in high definition down in the lower corner. But that same line coming across brings us to 2012 September. Resistance. Today, check this out. We closed above a major trendline resistance point, and this swing high right here, this 1461 coming across, we are above it, closing at 1462, I believe. No, yeah, 14. What is this right here? We have the high and the close. I'm looking at it down here. So we closed at, yeah, 1462, 42. Man, that is a big time area of resistance at a pop. Now we still have some other resistance points coming across here. We don't want to ignore that. Usually after a big run you'll get a sell-off, but now that we close at the day's high at the end of the day and beyond resistance points, really good chance to see at least a basing start to take place, if not continuation. You certainly do not want to be short now in this market. So really strong. If I look at a weekly chart, now this is something that's a little more sobering, but on the weekly chart we came up and slammed our head against major resistance. See this? We just went there, stopped, boom. Nice pop to start off the week. This is a huge candlestick. Even this candlestick's so big that even for the week it's a big candlestick. I mean, this is a ginormous run that we had today, but we are in a major area of resistance, so be watching that like a hawk. Actually, I am going to adjust this line and go down to the highest close right here. So actually that's quite bullish where we're at. So there you saw me do an adjustment, and that adjustment makes this really bullish now. And I wanted to make sure I went to the highest close, not that shadow. Big difference. It's more an advanced way of drawing trend lines, and we do teach that in our mentorship. On the monthly chart, make sure I like this. resistance. I do like this. And we are just barely above that line too. So if we do drop tomorrow, gang, that's going to put us at a major resistance. So on the daily chart, now that I've analyzed this, and I did it on the fly with you all, this is what's hugely important. If we do not see continuation here, and we hang up here and start to drop, that's going to be a major area of resistance here on the weekly chart, and on the monthly chart, major area of resistance, and it has a much better chance of retracing if that were to happen. We really need to see a continuation of this run to make us, the weekly chart, continue to go higher, to get away from this area of resistance, and the monthly chart to get away from that area of resistance. Really important that we do that. A lot of you guys like to follow Apple. Apple had a nice gap up, sell up, but it's above major areas of resistance here. So we were talking about buying opportunities down here. Now we have a double bottom, and this double bottom shows a W for winner, and wow, that thing's running. Apple has some awesome opportunities in front of it now. Google here, nice little pop. Not as excited about Google right now, technically speaking, due to price action. Facebook looks hot. Facebook is now at $28 at a resistance point, but it busted a trend line resistance point, which is really good, and it did it on volume today. That is great. And gold, see what it's doing. It's coming off these lows, and it's now above the 20-day moving average, but we're below the 100 and the 50-day moving average. We're just caught up in the moving averages. It is not a good time to be buying gold if you're caught up in moving averages. Always remember that. So with that said, I am energized to be in 2013, and I hope you are. Thank you for being users, and thank you for sharing this with your friends. Much appreciated. Hope all is well, and I hope one day that you choose us to be your mentors, because after all, formalized education in the trading world is your next step if you want this to be the real deal for you. Take care.